Hi everyone, it's Sandy here again. Thank you for joining me here on my channel, Septeria 18. I have a really cute little mini junk journal I want to show you guys. This little mini junk journal will be listed in my shop, hopefully by the weekend. I just need to add a few little extra bits and pieces in the journal, and then I'll have it listed in my shop. I'm going to have two of these available. And I'm just going to give you a quick flip through of the journal as well, just so you have an idea of what is inside. And this particular journal was made with the cover that I had shared with you in my other recent video, and it was the mini file folder booklet style with pocket, and it was this one here which I had made with a 6x6 paper. And it's such an easy little project and so cute and really fun to make. It's got a couple of little pockets. There's a pocket here in the front, and then you turn it over and then you can make a little page as well in the file folder booklet. And there is also another pocket as well on the inside. So it's just a cute little mini style folder with it like a little tab here on the front. And I'll put that link to that video down below if you want the measurements for the 6x6 size, which is this one. So with this one here, I made it the same way with the cover. It's just slightly bigger, and you can use a 6x8 paper from your 6x8 paper pad. But this one here, I cut it down to 6x8, just so I wanted to make it a slightly bigger size to make it into a journal. So if you look at the difference in size, there is a slight difference. This one is a little smaller, and this one is slightly larger. So if you wanted to make a larger size, I thought I'd share with you in this video the measurements for this size if you want to use a 6x8 paper. But I'll just show you the inside. And so you can make this also into a booklet as well, instead of just using it as a little folder. So I just wanted to show the different variety of ways you could make the file folder booklet. So here is the front. I haven't finished embellishing and adding the goodies. I've got a little embroidery embellishment here on the front of the pocket, and there are a couple of little tags inside. And I'm also going to show you how you can make it with a closure like this as well. So you can add a closure to your journal if you wanted to use this style of cover as well. So on the inside, I did add some digital prints that I had purchased from Etsy. I'm not too sure the name of the shop where I purchased the prints, but I'll go back and have a look, and then I'll put the links down below for the prints. But this is a really lovely shabby style print. And then I also added some of my beetroot dyed paper on the inside, a doily using a tea dye stain. And then I've got here a nice lace trim here as well for a pocket. So there's also a couple of pieces in here as well inside the pocket. And there's a note booklet in there. So there are a few pages in here. There's also a bag which I had made into a little pocket insert. I've used some what's that paper? It's like a parchment paper that I also use a beetroot to dye. And this is also another digital print. And I think this one here is by Daisy Paper Journals. So she has a digital print shop as well on Etsy, and that's where I purchased this print from her shop. And again, there's just some more pages in here, tuck spot, and music paper. So I've just got to add a little bit more to the junk journal, and then I'll have it listed. So this is one of them. So again, there's another pocket there. But I'll do another video and do a more detailed look on the inside, just so you can see what's inside. So this will be one of them. And then this is the other cover that I'm also going to make, which is the same as this. Just the inside might be different, not quite the same, but similar pages on the inside. So these will be the two that I'll have listed in my shop, hopefully by the weekend. And then I'll do a video before I list it as well. So I'm going to show you the measurements to create this size. using 6x6, and that's the 6x6 size, just in case you want to make a larger size. So you just need your paper that you have, that's 6x8. So it is exactly the same way to put it together. I'm just going to give you the measurements, and then I'll assemble it, and then I'm going to show you how to create the closure as well and add the pages in case you want to make it into a journal booklet. Okay, so this is a single-sided print paper. So the print that you want on the cover, if you're using double-sided paper, you want that print facing down. And then along the 8-inch side, you're going to score at 3 1/4 inch and 7 1/2 inch. Then you're going to turn your paper around to the 6-inch side, and you're going to score at 1 1/2 inches. I will put the measurements down below as well in case you want the measurement references. So that's all the scoring. And then we're just going to make a couple of cuts. So firstly, we're going to take out this long piece here on the right side, just up to that score line. So I'm just going to turn it this way. So we'll just take this off because we don't need this piece. And cut it as straight as you can. And I'm just going to angle cut this piece. And then this part down here will also angle cut that out. So you'll have that. And then we're going to come along here onto this score line, and we're going to also cut that up to that first score line. Just like that. And then with this part, we're going to turn this over this way, and I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer. And oops, sorry about that. Along this right side here, we're going to line this paper, and we're going to cut from the bottom up and stop it about probably a couple of inches, depending how long you want your little file tab to be, and that's where you'll stop your cut. So I'm going to line the edge of this paper along the mark here, which is the mark just before the 1-inch mark, or just under the 2 centimeter mark. So it's about 3/4 inch in from the edge. And I'm going to cut up, and you just want to cut up to as far as you want the size of your tab. So I'm just going to cut it to about there. We're going to remove this piece out now. And then we're going to angle cut that out. And with this part here, it's up to you. You can leave it as is, or you can corner around the corner just to tidy that up. So you're going to have this shape. I'm going to turn back this way now, and then we're just going to assemble it together. So you're going to bring this part here on the right, which is a little tab. We're going to bring that in, and then we're going to fold this up. We'll apply some glue to the little tab here on the side, and that will give you the inside pocket. And now we can bring this side over and create the cover of your file folder. And then this little piece here, we'll bring that up, and that will give you your front pocket. And we're just going to seal that off as well. so you get yourself a little pocket. So I'm just going to open this up and put some glue along here and along there. I also have the link down below of the liquid glue that I use on my projects, as I've had a few of you wanting to know what glue I use. So it is down below. It is an Australian craft supply company that I purchased my glue from. So now you have the mini file folder booklet all assembled with a front pocket. You've got that file tab here on the front, and then you've got your pocket on the inside where you've got a nice gusset, so you've got enough room to add your goodies. So now what you want to do is, if you wanted to create a journal like I have here and add pages to it, and then you want to add a closure, I'll show you how I put that together as well. So I have here a cover that I've already put together, and these are my pages, and you can use any pages, any papers, anything you like to create your booklet. All you do is just fold it in half or fold it so that you're able to have somewhere where we can put it onto the booklet. So I've got here some of my pages. These are just photocopying paper, just so I can show you, and I've just cut it down to size to fit inside. So you just want to cut your paper to however wide you want your pages to be. I like mine to sort of stick out a little bit here on the front, like I have here, so that we can still have a little peek through of what the page looks like. But if you want to make it a little bit shorter and have it so it's sitting inside the cover, you could also do that. You just play around with however you like your pages. So I've got here some photocopying paper, some scrapbook paper, and some vellum, some more scrapbook paper, and that opens up like that, so there's more place to write. And then it just is the same along the back, and there's a doily as well. So all I've done was I've done that. So I've made my fold in the middle, and just sort of making sure all of your papers line up exactly how you want it. So I'm just going to quickly double check. I've got a doily in here somewhere as well, so I just want to make sure that's nicely in the middle. So once you're happy with all of that, you're going to grab a couple of paper clips as well. We're going to grab that center bit where we fold it. We're going to place it along that fold line of your folder so they all line up nicely. And you're going to grab your paper clips, and you're going to hold your pages in place so they don't move around. So one on one side and one on this side, and then making sure that all your pages are in the middle. And I'm just going to grab my piercing tool, or it's like an awl, and when you pierce it through, it goes wider, so then you can make your hole as wide or as small as you want. And just grab my cutting mat. You'll also want your preferred trim or thread. I did use organza ribbon here, so that meant I did make my hole a little bit larger so that this can fit through. But I'm going to use just some crochet thread for this tutorial, just so you can see how to create the closure with your thread. And I've got here a needle that sort of opens up and splits open so that your thread can slide through easily, and I'll show you. And I have sold a lot of these in my shop. They sell really quick, and it just opens up, and you just thread your thread or your string. I also use this to thread the organza ribbon as well. And then you just slide it in, and then your needle just closes back up like that, and then you're able to thread it through the your project. And in my shop, I think I have, I'm not too sure, I don't have much left, but this is these are the needles that you get. You get a set of two. You get a longer one and a smaller one. And these needles are good too for beading, or you've got little fine holes in your beads like seed beads, bugle beads, pearls, this will slide through your beads, even with your thread through as well. So it is a great little kneading tool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make 3 holes. You can get your measurements to center everything, but I'm just going to eyeball the holes for this tutorial. So I'm going to mark one in the middle first. I'm kind of hoping that's my middle. And I'm just going to pierce right through and make a hole big enough so that my crochet needle will go through. And then another hole on one side and one on the bottom. So I'm just going to hopefully get my holes to sort of have the same space. So I'll put one there. I normally measure it out. So I'm just trying to go through until I get to the part where the fold is. Okay, so you can see I've got my 3 holes, and they're going through the front and through the back. And then you're going to grab your thread, and we're going to go through the middle or through the front part of the book. I'm kind of hoping my hole is big enough. Okay, so I've got that through now. Now sometimes I can't get it out, so I'm just going to use my little tool to just gently pull it out like that. So keep threading through, and you want to leave a good amount of a tail of your thread so that you have enough to create a closure. So that's probably as long as I want it. And then we're going to go in through the top and do the same and go through the bottom. And then we're going to go all the way over and go to that bottom hole and go from under and go up. And hopefully I'll find all my thread will go through all the pages. I'm just going to make it just a little bit, make it easier to get in. There we go. So that's gone in there, and now this part we're going to bring that back into the center, and that should meet with the other thread that's in the beginning. So that is how your page will look like. So now your thread will be both coming out in the center and the front. So then what we do now, we're going to grab one of the thread and just tuck it underneath the long piece so that they're both sort of like that. I'm just going to tie a little knot. Close the book over, and then I've got one side at the back, and then I can have this one in the front, and that will create your closure. And now your booklet will keep in place. You've got a nice little trim to decorate the front as well. So that is how I made the journal booklet with the file folder. So it's really cute, and you can use your scrap papers, you can use your journal pages, book pages, music papers, scrap paper, anything you like to add your pages. So I'll just quickly just say that one more time with the stitching in case that was confusing. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in through the middle first, through the middle, come out, go back into the top hole, come down, go all around to that bottom hole, come up, and then thread it back in through to the middle, and then you'll be able to have both your string down the center and the front. So that is how I made these little mini junk journal booklet. And again, I'll have hopefully list these in my shop by the weekend. I'll also do a video before I list it so you can see a more detailed look of what's inside, and I'll also add a few more little goodies as well to go with the booklet, as I always love adding extras. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial with the larger size paper to create a larger size file folder. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all soon in my next one. Bye for now.